Alrighty guys, we're back for Fire Nation Attacks, and this is a Last Airbender Standard Brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some Ranked. Got a couple Sozin's Comet here on the top end. It's a 5-mana sorcery with Foretell for a 2 and a red. Each creature you control gains Firebending 5 until end of turn. That means whenever this creature attacks, you add 5 red mana. This mana lasts until the end of combat, so you're going to want to go ahead and spend that on all of your instant speed goodies, like Fire Nation Attacks, maybe? It's a 5 mana instant speed. It also has a flashback cost for 9 total mana, which some games, that might not be too steep, honestly. Create 2/2 red soldier creature tokens with Firebending 1. Cool stuff. We also have a Faded Firepower X in triple red enchantment with flash. That's important because it works well with the firebending then, right? This enchantment enters with X fire counters on it. If a source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage plus an amount of damage equal to the number of fire counters on this enchantment instead. That is a really cool ability. Now also here on the top end, we have a Bayo making the cut as a 1-of. With that ability, you don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end. That could potentially come in handy in a deck list with Firebending, right? So speaking of Firebending, we do have more Firebenders packed in. Firebender Ascension is a 2-mana enchantment, and when it enters, you get one of those 2/2 Firebending 1 soldier tokens. Nice. Whenever a creature you control attacking causes a triggered ability of that creature to trigger, put a quest counter on this enchantment. So then if it has 4 or more quest counters on it, you may copy that ability. You may choose new targets for the copy, so it shouldn't be too hard, honestly, to go ahead and get 4 or more counters on Firebender Ascension, especially with all the Firebenders packed in, like Firebending Student also making the cut as a 4-of, but then also we have all 4 Hired Claws. That'll work well with the Firebender Ascension, and Frenzied Goblin making the cut as a 2-of too. So back to the Firebending Student. This is going to have a huge target on its back. Unfortunately, it's a 2-mana 1/2 with Prowess. Firebending X, where X is this creature's power. That could get out of hand really fast, especially if you're boosting it with something like Haste Magic, making the cut as a 2-of, or how about Turn Inside Out, making the cut as a 2-of as well. We do have other ways to boost the Firebending Student. We have all 4 opera love songs, all 4 of them because it's an instant speed way to see more off the top. That way you can go ahead and spend all that excess Firebending mana. We do got some classic burn packed in with all 4 burst lightning and a couple lightning strikes, rocking that new awesome Azula artwork. Very nice. We do have some more creatures packed in too, with a couple Emberheart Challengers making the cut, which honestly, I suppose the Challenger could be your creature of choice, right? And a similar concept with the Frenzied Goblin too. Over in the mana base, we got 22 total mana, and 4 of them is Fire Nation Palace, which might be a little excessive as it enters tapped unless you control a basic land. I mean, we still got 18 mountains packed in, so the only way this actually holds you up is if you only have Fire Nation Palace in your opener, which will happen sometimes. Either way, I really wanted to see this land today, so I got all 4 of them packed in. Okay, no honorable mentions. There's probably a whole bunch of ways we could put together mono red Firebenders, right? So yeah, let me know. At the very least, what should have made the cut as an honorable mention? Either way, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some Ranked, see how we do. Okay, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? I have no idea. I know that from my test games, I had to make a lot of changes to the deck list. The number 1 change that I had to make was adding more creatures too, so this looks pretty decent. I like this. Yeah, we're keeping this for sure. We go first too. Very nice. Hired Claw into Firebender Ascension should be crazy. Should be a really good curve. I guess if anything messes with the Hired Claw, we could potentially foretell Sozin's Comet instead of Ascension, but I'm pretty sure it's still going to be Ascension just to get creatures onto the board, right? Other than that, we'll be very patient with Lightning Strike probably. And also, speaking of patience, oh, okay. Hello, opponent. Hi. I was about to pause until the opponent showed up. No, we're good to go. Right, with Ascension, it wouldn't be terrible to use bottom ability on Opera Love Song if we're allowed keeping these creatures around. Oh, it's a turtle. Let's go. I like turtles, so that's good. Nothing messed with the Hired Claw, so we stick to it. Ascension. Start the counters rolling. This is going to be sick, dude. They go for the block. We still, no matter what, we swing for the extra counters for sure. There is a new turtle from Avatar, right? So I wonder if they're playing the new stuff. A turtle duck. Let's go. All right, so turtle duck here is a green mana, 0/4 for 3. Until end of turn, this creature has base power 4 and gains trample. I like it. There's another turtle too that's Simic colors. Ah, opponent. I'm so happy right now. I'm so happy that you're playing some turtles. Honestly, this should be... We might have trouble getting over their toughness, guys. We'll see though, won't we? Maybe when it comes time to actually start copying like Hired Claw ability or something. Maybe when we can start plugging some extra counters into Hired Claw too. Okay, Emberheart Challenger is pretty good. But our turn 3 is a little awkward here. I wouldn't mind the Opera Love Song. And then Lightning Strike. Maybe we can take care of some of these turtles. This could easily be a bounce spell's the problem, guys. So I'd really like to see more off the top too. So establishing Challenger first and trying Love Song next turn gives him a whole turn of setup too, though. And then, of course, Sozin's Comet wouldn't be terrible, especially if we exile 2 off the top with the Love Song as well. Okay. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go for the setup, huh? No, I shouldn't. I shouldn't. Let's see what they do off the swing. How about that? We'll skip the Challenger this turn for sure. Either way then, right? I was thinking, like, set up with Comet. And then, yeah, extra off the top with Love Song next turn. Yeah, you just never know what that's going to end up looking like, though. So, we got 4 total mana here. Yep, that is proper blocks, I would say. Let's do Lightning Strike or Love Song. Let's Lightning Strike the bigger turtle, save the Love Song. They still got 1 mana open, so this could still be something. Even a Spell Pierce would ruin the rest of our turn here. Into the Floodmaw, right? So at least we can still foretell the Comet. Which I guess we can do at instant speed, which is pretty nice, actually. That is pretty nice. So we fizzled out pretty big there. I think it was still worth the attempt. We would have done Lightning Strike on the Turtle Duck. They would have bounced Hired Claw, which I guess we could have recast. Oh, wow. They go Mockingbird, copy the Turtle. They got Pride of Hallclade coming down. Holy cow, guys. Holy cow. Right. Well, we do have Sozin's Comet. We could see more off the top, but now we're missing that first creature. We swing with Hired Claw. It's a goner. Unless, of course, we boost with the counter, which I guess is possible. Wouldn't mind the Bayo, though. Guys, send help. Analysis paralysis incoming. I think the extra counter on the Hired Claw could be good, especially since we're getting the Firebender Ascension, too. But let's just go Bayo for the turn, and maybe we could get up to some crazy nonsense with Sozin's Comet next turn. Problem is they're going to have 3 open, 3 cards in hand, and we know that they got some bounce spells packed in. And that could really be a problem. They do have the 3 mana open for the Turtle Duck too. And then with the Mockingbird, they're easily blocking Bayo in the air as well. What a silly game, but I honestly, I couldn't be happier that the opponent's playing turtles right now. It's really cool, actually. So, Sozin's Comet, Fire Nation Attacks is a really good draw, guys. Wow. I wouldn't mind getting Challenger down before all this nonsense, but I really hope the Sozin's Comet lands. Let's see it, guys. Let's see it. We also get extra mana. That's nice. Holy cow. Holy cow. Now, what's the order here? I guess Hired Claw last? Which one gets copied? The 4th counter's next on the Ascension, so do all of these get copied? Three counters. Copy that ability, yes. That's an extra, okay, yes, copy the ability. Oh my goodness, guys. Oh my goodness. Right, let's see what their blocks look like, I suppose. They dropped the oops. Okay, they maybe they dropped the oops because they shouldn't have let us attack or something, because they got 2 open, 2 in hand. So number 1, I guess we'll activate Hired Claw ability so it doesn't die. I guess we'll see more off the top with Love Song. Okay. I guess, right? Get extra mana from the Bayo. Hired Claw. Okay. So I guess Fire Nation Attacks. Also, we don't have to do this now because Bayo makes it so that way we don't lose this mana as the steps and phases end. I'll still do it all now anyways. That's really cool, isn't it? That's really, really cool. You can play this. Play Hired Claw. I mean, I don't think they're going to have some kind of crazy board wipe, so we just dump the hand, right? That was crazy, dude. Look at that turn. Wow. Turtles versus the Fire Nation. And we, like, seriously, we can't ask for much more, right? So the opponent actually lost life this turn, so we could use the last 2 mana to power up Hired Claw a little bit more. So what's this now? So Robot Soldier. Oh, okay. Each creature you control with toughness greater than his power assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than his power. Okay, right. Toughness greater than his power. Stations permanence. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, so they're going to be dealing damage to us. I mean, do we... The mountain's really bad news. Do we go for the full swing even though they have terrific blocks? Oh, hold on, opponent. You know, I'm pondering, my friend. 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7. So 9. So no, we still go for the full swing, especially since we're going to be doubling the Hired Claw abilities, right? Yeah. I hope. Full swing gets it maximum damage through, and then Hired Claw is going to be poking through a few times here. Wait a minute, guys. That might only get them down to like 2. Oh dear. Greatness at any cost. Right. I'm not ready to go down to 21 mana, but that mountain was a devastating draw. So we did 1, 2, 3. Wait, did the Hired Claw copy? I'm a little confused by that stack there, especially since I was just spamming through the button. Guys, we're gonna lose most of our creatures. Maybe I didn't have the swing. Oh no. Oh no. 1, 2. Right, for some reason I thought we were doing more damage with Hired Claw. Then if there are 4 or more quest counters, you may copy that ability. Oh, I think maybe I needed to arrange that properly. Oh, guys, Bayo died. Oh, awesome. Hey, that works. That works. A good game opponent. Yeah, I loved the turtle deck list. Nice, nice. Right, so with Bayo dying, wow, I mean, Bayo showed off there. Maybe we need the second one packed in already, huh? All right, let's keep the ball rolling. There's a little bit of confusion there with the Ascension. I need to play with that again and see exactly what's going on there. Because I think we got 2 damage through with the Hired Claw, and then one of them got copied, right? So we did 3 damage total with the Hired Claw. But for some reason, I thought they were both going to get copied. An update available. Please restart MTG Arena. Excuse me, I'm in the middle of a game, Arena. Excuse me. We'll go ahead and pause the recording after this game and get a restart in. Oh, sure, dude. I'll try this all day. If the Firebending Student actually survives... Oh, dear. Oh, dear. The poor Firebending Student. Up against Demir. Right, well, I mean, if the Firebending Student survives, it's going to be easy peasy to get to the Fire Nation attacks. Or X's 2 on the Fated Firepower could be pretty good, too. Guys, I'm going to wait for... there's no reason to wait. Let's wait for main phase 2. Start with the swing. And then see if they waste a removal on Frenzied Goblin, which I really want to call Frenzied Bailiff. Maybe I should wait on the Firebending Student. Probably not, though. I mean, what else are we going to do? We don't have any other decoy in hand to send out first. Yeah, we just run right into it. It could be a counterspell. It could be some generic spot removal. We still could have a couple interesting turns, especially if we see more creatures off the top. So 3rd mana comes down. We do find more mana, which isn't terrible. We could always go X's 1 on Fated Firepower next turn or something. Keeping the turn inside out open is pretty good. It's not ideal here, but it's something. Looks like they're saving whatever they got anyways. Gonna be consult the star charts. Nice. Up against some Demir, most likely Mill, right? We're probably in danger, dude. Because we would have had to go way faster. And how to go way faster? A Firebending Student survival, right? But that's a pretty low chance. Like, as soon as we saw the Restless Reef, so they're letting the Frenzied Goblin stick around. We do find our 5th, or maybe a Fire Nation attacks when it comes time. I guess, again, we could start with the attack. It's most likely something. I'd like to try the Fated Firepower for some extra damage rolling through, but, I mean, we can also just keep the turn inside out open. Save the Fated Firepower for when we actually start ramping with Firebending on the Fire Nation attacks. I think that's the best case scenario, even though it's incredibly slow here. See if they got like another consult the star charts. It was going to be Meringue River Regent. So now that they're tapped out, we could consider the X's 1 on the Firepower. Missed only 1 damage. We could try to get maybe a counterspell out of their hand on their turn so we could actually land a Fire Nation attacks too. There's a whole bunch of options here, man. Again, very slow, but like we have options. 5th man is going to be a Fabled Passage. Now, Deadly Cover-Up usually makes the cut in Demir Mill, right? But kind of blanking. Could be other board wipes too. The board wipes are terrifying news for the Fire Nation attacks, but thank goodness instant speed, we can use it at the end of their turn. So with Strategic Betrayal getting around the death trigger on the turn inside out, I suppose we lose the Frenzied Goblin. And then we'll try the Fated Firepower at the end of their turn. Let's see. X is 1 on the Firepower, so everything will do 1 extra damage. That's actually pretty significant. We do get... Oh, that is not the kind of counterspell I wanted to get out of the opponent's hand, though, guys. Right. Yeah, only 1 mana. It would have been awesome if that was like a 3 steps ahead. So Firebender Ascension's pretty good. We could keep Fire Nation attacks open for their turn. Again, try to get some counterspells out of their hand. We could do it now while they only got 2, and that way it doesn't get hit by the 3 steps ahead. We could do Firebender Ascension first, while they only got 2 open, playing around specific counterspells, and then still have the turn inside out. Dude, I'll tell you what, man. I'm going to go Ascension, but again, limited amount of cards, but a lot of decisions on when and where and why. And everything in between. I think Ascension was a good draw. We can do that with the turn inside out open. With 5 mana on the board. See, if that was a 3 steps ahead and they were tapped out, then I would have played Fire Nation attacks number 1. And if we ran right into the board wipe, which they do have their 6th mana open now, I guess it would have been a it is what it is moment, but it's like they're just going to keep that 6. We find our 6th mana. Now, off a swing with the Soldier, we do play around specific counterspells. See what ends up happening here. Because we'll still have 2 open then. Do I have to put on full control so that way it doesn't glide out of my combat? I put a full control on just in case there. All right. Couple soldiers on the board. All right, consult the star charts for... They're digging 6 deep here, guys. I can only imagine that this board is going to get wiped and we're going to have a lot of mill. A lot of cards hitting the yard. 7th mana comes down untapped. Possible that they missed the board wipe. Ah, Scavenger Regent. So what do you guys suppose? Is it worthwhile going for the turn inside out? I'd say yes. Why not, right? Manifest and see if we hit something. Oh, like a Hired Claw. Yep, that's pretty good. That's really good. Easy to flip face up and starts putting more counters on the Ascension. Oh, look at that. The opponent also has a face-down surprise creature, which blocks the 1/2 Hired Claw well, but it doesn't block a 1/3. That's 6 mana. I'm going to turn it face up now. We could see 7th. We do find the 7th, and it's a Fire Nation Palace, which isn't half bad here, honestly. We might as well go ahead and activate that. Swing. Firebending 4. Deal 1. That's 2 counters on the Ascension. This is neat, man. It's pretty neat. And then we have that ability, but we also have Fire Nation attacks, which is just so cool. Holy cow. Again, I'm going to put a full control on just out of just pure paranoia. Oh, keep the full control. Okay, they decide, of course, no block. Oh, I do wonder what that creature is. Auto. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's my fault for putting the full control on. And also, guys, because I don't want to lose that mana. Here we go. I'll just do that now, since it's already past the blocker step anyways. Alright, what do you guys think? Is the board wipe incoming again? It's Greed's Gambit. I do not remember what that does. Draw 3, 3 bats. They gain... Wait. Draw 3, 6 life, 3 bats. At the beginning of your end step, discard, lose 2, sacrifice a creature. They flip a coveted falcon. What? Bro, Demir combo? Oh my goodness. What? Okay. That was brutal, man. I was not expecting some combo. So this enchantment leaves the battlefield. You discard 3, lose 3, sacrifice 3. Oh my goodness, dude. Okay, what do we do? Who am I? I guess we go for the my cabbages. Hold on, I'm thinking, buddy, dude. I have no idea what to do right now. Firebending Student was a pretty good draw overall. Let's there's a hole in your plan. I see that. Oh man. Right, so we'll go ahead, give Firebending 4 to the Hired Claw. Go for the full swing because I don't know what to do here, man. And I don't know if the ordering matters. Like, because we're about to get the 4th counter. If we want to copy Firebending 4, do we got to put it first? I got to figure out this Firebender Ascension card, guys. So it goes, the counter goes on, then it says, would you like to copy that ability? We say yes. Hired Claw goes on top, copy that ability. So we do get to copy all the abilities. So maybe I was just missing something. Maybe I was just missing something from when the 2 Hired Claws swung in. I don't know right now. Not 100% certain. Well, either way, let's see what they end up doing here. And again, I got the full control. Hopefully, we'll be fine. They got great blocks, yeah, for sure. For sure, great blocks. They even want to take out the Hired Claw. So we want to make sure that Hired Claw sticks around. Okay with that. And then before anything else, since the blocks are done and they're pretty much tapped out, we'll start the flashback on the Fire Nation attacks. And then still have 5 mana. Right, so we want to go ahead and at least take out a bat, right? So all the bats are gone. And then we still have Firebending Student, but I'm terrified of a board wipe. Especially since they're at 6 mana. Guys, I apologize. This one's melting my brain, especially now that we don't know what we're up against too. Like the Greed's Gambit just chilling over here. Since I don't want to discard the Firebending Student, I guess we play it anyways, right? And then we have to sacrifice a creature, which will just be one of the soldiers. Then, yeah, we didn't have to discard. So, yeah, Student came down regardless, because the Greed's Gambit's chilling over here. Weird. No, deadly cover-up. Why? I think, guys, I want to concede so we can get into some more games, because I don't think this is leading towards us at all, especially not since they passed the Greed's Gambit to us, you know? I think we could have had a chance. We could have. Another face down set. Must be another Falcon, right? Oh, Sozin's Comet's really neat. Hey, good game, opponent. Yeah, usually I like to let the opponents play it out. This could actually take them a while, you know? 9-turn clock. No, they do have Restless Reef over there, so they could start speeding it up too. So the second board wipe was the nail in the coffin if the Greed's Gambit wasn't already, right? So let's keep the ball rolling. Kind of sort of doing the thing, right? Yeah, it's fine so far. Let's see if we could maybe keep like Firebending Student on the board for more than 1 turn or something too, and see if we can ramp into that top end. There's a lot of neat concepts going on in here. Very nice. Okay, Burst Lightning open. Have some patience. I love going first here, let me tell you. Optimistic Scavenger. No more patience with the Burst Lightning. Get that off the board. Fire Nation Palace. Yeah, it's Student over Ascension first, right? Because Ascension boosts the prowess. And we won't really have anything to play into unless we see an instant speed thing off the top, but still, that makes the most sense. Wonderweave Aerialist. All right. So I guess we could also Fire Nation Palace and then Fire Nation attacks, right? I guess we do have the ramp into that. That's kind of neat. Because Firebending 4 plus the Firebending X should be 5. And then we see if they take the block here, which they probably don't. And again, just full controlling out of pure paranoia. Nice. All right, let's get the Fire Nation attacks down. Extra prowess. All right, cool turn. Yeah. All those extra Firebenders on the board will really help the Ascension. And then we can go Challenger first. Get even more prowess rolling on the board. Ethereal Armor, probably just keep a blocker back. No, they go for the swing. Okay. Another Firebender Ascension. Bro, we should just play both of them, right? Or is the Challenger a little better for excess damage this turn? Excess damage this turn. Yeah, I guess that is a little better than the second Ascension. Because the second Ascension can also boost both prowess creatures next turn too. That Plains is probably just some protection for the Aerialist, right? Which I suppose they could really start to pull this back with a Sheltered by Ghost, guys. And that goes 3 counters onto the Ascension. Should be all too easy to flash back the Fire Nation attacks from the grave next turn, as long as, I guess even if we just keep these 3 soldiers around and they pick up the Student with the Sheltered by Ghost, we pretty much have to expect the Sheltered no matter what. That's not a Sheltered by Ghost. Oh my goodness, guys. Oh my goodness. Right, so Mountain isn't the greatest, but that does let us do the second Ascension. Prowess, and the Fire Nation Palace, which I suppose doesn't really matter, does it? It doesn't. Either way, I'm going for a full swing. They have a great block with that Wonderweave Aerialist, but wow. We actually see another Fire Nation attacks off the top here. Copy whatever it tells us to copy, right? Yes. And then play as much of the Fire Nation attacks as possible here. Probably we want to go... Oh my goodness, guys. I guess we go all of it. Wow. Right, go to the blocking step. They drop the nice. Thank you, opponent. Yeah, Fire Nation attacks number 2 off the Challenger is crazy, crazy business. So they blocked both of our prowess creatures, but that's okay. We still play this all out anyways. Actually, no, we're 3 mana short from getting the Student above the Aerialist, unfortunately. But that's okay. Oh my goodness, yeah, just 6 mana chillin'. Man, the animations are so cool with the Firebenders. Oh man. Right, that's a lot of tokens, dude. I don't know what the opponent's gonna do other than, yeah, gain a significant chunk of life this turn somehow. Ah, lands, am I right? Oh no. That's rough, buddy. Good game, good game. What? That's rough, buddy is supposed to be slightly endearing, but why did it feel so rude? No, yeah, lands, am I right, is about right when you're stuck on 2 mana, but then also missing the Sheltered by Ghost as well. Hey, good game, opponent. Yeah, absolutely. I like the mono white enchantment builds. They're pretty cool. and budget friendly as well, and actually can be ridiculously powerful. Probably one of the best budget decks in Standard right now, right? Really, I can't think of a different one. You guys let me know in the comments for sure. As we're 35 minutes in, that was a pretty good showcase of the Firebenders. I say we do end of video packs. We go talk about this list, and this is day 1 of the set release too, so I still have other deck lists that I got to record as well. Nice. All right. Both of those will eventually make the cut in some deck list, right? So I like seeing those. And we also got the Mastery, but I won't bore you guys with that. The pack openings are much more fun than just selecting something on the Mastery pass, right? Fire Nation attacks. All right. Hey, if you made it this far into the video, make sure you check out that description. We do have the Discord link as well as the Patreon link down there if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. Then also, guys, for the YouTube side of things, if you liked the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. If you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing because it really does help out the channel. All right, guys. Yeah. So what do we got here? I'd say, like, you guys saw that if anything survives with firebending, it gets out of hand really fast. And, like, all of a sudden you have all this extra mana and you're looking at, like, cards like Haste Magic, like, it's a little expensive for 2 mana, right? And then you're never going to be able to play that other card anyways. About that, right? If you are, like, in that mid game already and you are forced into Firebending Student, give it haste with Haste Magic. You're swinging in with the Student. The prowess boosted it as well. You're getting 5 on the firebending, right? And then you saw 1 off the top with the Haste Magic too, with burn in here like Lightning Strike and Burst Lightning. If it was just 5, just flat out from the one firebending Student, right? And you didn't have anything else, you could still fully kick a Burst Lightning at the opponent's face, which would continue to boost the prowess on the firebending Student as well. So that's really cool. I think one of the big things that maybe this deck list was missing was Slickshot Show Off. But yeah, because Slickshot Show Off could really, really pop off with all the extra firebending and just being able to spam out a whole bunch of instants and stuff too. I guess Slickshot Show Off could be the choice over the Challenger, but you guys saw in that last one why Challenger is pretty good too. You could target it with the Fire Nation Palace, see more off the top that way as well. And in some scenarios, that's going to be better than the extra damage that you're popping off with the Slickshot Show Off. So I don't know, maybe like Frenzied Goblin could be the show off, but then you're really going over those 2 drops like crazy. And we got an average of 2.2. Makes sense for the 22 total mana, especially since we're seeing extra off the top as well. And also with all the ramp, I would consider 21 mana, and the only way I would do that is if I go up like a Firebrain Scheme instead of an extra mountain, or dropping a Fire Nation Palace down to 3 and going up that Firebrain Scheme as well as a one-of. I think that would be an excellent one-of in here, and not the only excellent one-of. I really like the one-of Faded Firepower and the one-of Bayo too. I'd consider the second Bayo, honestly, so yeah, it was pretty cool, and then getting that bottom ability to do the thing as well. The opponents have to be very careful when blocking Bayo, right? Especially when you have all that open mana, and then you have even more open mana from all the firebending. Really cool. Definitely consider the second Bayo. Maybe drop that Frenzied Goblin to 1. Maybe Lightning Strike to 1. Lightning Strike to 1, second Bayo, and I'm still thinking about that Slickshot Show Off, but we could just try that in a different build, right? We'll build another red deck wins at some point, go the Slickshot route, and still try as many of the Firebenders as possible too. So Firebender Ascension, I was getting a little confused there in the middle. Yeah, because it reads, there's a lot on the card already, right? But then if it has 4 or more quest counters on it, you may copy that ability. So it's every time an extra quest counter goes onto it. So it's right? It doesn't say like once a turn or anything like that. Like for a moment there when the Hired Claws were going through and I miscalculated the amount of damage that was actually landing, I thought that it was only doing that for the first one past the 4th, but then that doesn't make much sense either. I was just getting dazed and confused on the Ascension in general, right? But I guess maybe that's to be expected from the first day with the set as well. really neat cards in here overall. I'm really happy that Fire Nation attacks. You're looking at it like, oh, you're trying to do mono red aggro. What the heck are you doing with a 5 mana instant speed card here on the top end? But then, wow, I mean, it's just really easy to cast in the right game, right? And if anything, any of your Firebenders survive, you're getting more Firebenders down all of a sudden out of nowhere. And then all of those entering, it's an instant, so it boosts all of the prowess too. Really cool stuff, man. There's a lot of different rearranging you can do, but guys, put it on the do not craft list. Why? It's probably a janky version of mono red, right? But then also, you never know where the meta is going to settle. The first couple weeks of any given set, it always looks like it's going one way, but then it just doesn't go that way. It goes the opposite way or something, right? So just never know where it's going to settle. You don't want to spend all of your wild cards onto a deck list that might look really cool at the time, but then it just gets completely picked apart by wherever the meta ends up settling. That would feel pretty bad, honestly. So put it on the do not craft list, even though there are so many fun cards here that I am very excited to try again. I want to try a full-on mono red mid-range or big red, whatever you want to call it at that point, with like all of the faded firepower and all of the Sozin comments. It's going to get expensive pretty fast, but that's something I really, really want to try. And at that point too, if we're going mid-range, I'm pretty sure the Fire Nation attacks is still going to make the cut too. And if I'm going that mid-range route, I'm guessing Firebending Student is going to be dropped, but maybe I'll still keep a couple Firebender Ascensions. You're going to need a whole bunch of early ways of survival too, and some early board wipes as well. But I don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but I'm very excited to try out some mid-range or some big red soon. What else, guys? What else? If you don't like turn inside out, you could do one of your favorite boost spells. If you want more ways to give haste, you could always do the, what is that one called? I'm blanking. Felonious Rage. There it is. Yeah. The problem with Felonious Rage instead of turn inside out is there are going to be moments where you want to go turn inside out onto the Firebending Student right into the Fire Nation attacks. And if you do Felonious Rage instead, it's +2, then +1 from the prowess, so you're getting 4 on the Firebending. Honestly, at that point, even so, well, if it was your turn 3 and you're giving haste to the student, the 4 mana is still fantastic, but you won't have the nation. If it was your turn 3 with the turn inside out, you're not able to give haste to the student. But if you had student on 2 and you go turn inside out, student goes to 5 power, 5 extra, you could have Fire Nation attacks for free and still have 2 mana left over. Or you could go Haste Magic turn inside out, which would bring the student up to 9 power, and then you could flash back Fire Nation attacks. So just having something that actually boosts for 3 made a little bit more sense thanks to the Firebending Student, but Firebending Student doesn't have haste, so the Felonious Rage also makes a little bit of sense the same way that the Haste Magic made a little bit of sense too. And then if you really just don't like turn inside out, you could always go for the warp one too, the full bore. We don't have any warp creatures packed in, so the trample haste isn't going to do anything in here, but the +3/+2, the +2 could actually save a lot of your creatures from specific removal spells, specific burn, or it could be a fantastic combat trick when the opponent thought that they were going to trade. Whereas something like the turn inside out, it's probably still trading, right? Unless the prowess +1 helped a little bit, but yeah. Woo! How about all 4 Fire Nation Palace? Actually, I liked all 4, but it could just be like a 2 of maybe. And there are going to be moments where it slows you down when it's your only land in your opener, but then it's going to be all too easy to get a mountain anyways, or just draw into it right away, right? And if you're slowed down on the first turn, you'll still have a 1-drop on your turn 2. Maybe you're slowed down for a couple turns. You'll still find more mana off of like an opera love song eventually too. I don't know. Yeah. That's tough. Yeah, maybe down to 3, go up that Firebrain scheme. That could be cool. And then 21 mana should work out fine, but I do like that we saw the mana when we needed it, and we didn't really flood today. There were moments where we had a lot of mana, but doesn't, I mean, you know, yeah. 21 could work, but 22 felt fine and dandy too. Okay, guys. Wow. Enough rambling, huh? That was a lot to talk about there. I'm very pleased with all the Firebenders and whatnot. Very fun cards. Very excited to continue trying them out in other builds too. So, guys, seriously, man, if you made it this far in, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.